The don'ts of visiting America. Let's go.
Place here in the U.S. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the U.S. because anywhere you go in the world, there's things you should do, but there's also things you shouldn't do. And this video is going to just cover the U.S. in general, okay? And our first don't for when you visit the U.S. is don't touch the Americans. Look, Americans really like their personal space. It's like they have a bubble around them, and if you get too close to them, they feel very, 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 very uncomfortable, okay?
It depends of the people, you know, if they do dances, if they dance bachata or some other dances, they love when you touch them, okay?
So
or jiu-jitsu.
Make sure you give them a little distance when you...
No, if they do jiu-jitsu, probably they don't like when you touch them because it's danger for them.
Are there, you know, because I know when I go to Italy and Spain and stuff, people are like, Mark, how's it going, all this stuff, and my American friends sometimes go, wow, they're really, really affectionate. Like, that's just how it is. Here, space is key. The second don't I have for you is don't count on public transportation. Look, when we were in China and we were throughout Europe and South America, we took buses and trains and planes and all kinds of stuff to get all over the place because public transport is really developed. Here in the U.S., you cannot count on public transport to get you a lot of places. Yes, in big cities like New York and Chicago and stuff like that, you can get around with public transport and it'll take you where you want to go. But a lot of towns, small towns especially, in middle-sized cities, the public transportation networks are not very good. And at night, sometimes it's not very safe. So that is kind of a frustrating thing. So yes, you're going to probably have to rent a car when you come here, okay?
Oh no, but if I rent a car in America, I will probably rent like a SUV, big SUV, you know.
So just have a heads up for that. And that kind of leads into the next don't I have for you is don't underestimate the size of the U.S. The United States, it's, you know, continental U.S. is like continental Europe. It's huge. I mean, would you think of driving from, oh, I'm going to do, you know, from Lisbon to Paris and then go up to Tallinn and then head down to Sofia. No, you're like, that is insanely far.
Yes.
It's the same thing when you come to the U.S. I meet a lot of travelers that are like, oh, I'm going to fly into New York, grab a car, drive down to Miami to see Miami Beach, and then head over to L.A. I'm like, dude, you got 2 weeks? You're going to spend the entire time in cars. The distance...
But that's also good because America is a beautiful country, you know. You can go through the country, you can see beautiful stuff even on the road, you know. And you go on the road and you turn on the famous song, On the Road Again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. That would be enough for me. I wouldn't even like to go to somewhere, you know. I just can be on the road in America and that's enough.
Here are insane. So what I recommend is picking a region. So, we're going to stay here in New England and see New England. Or we're going to go in the southeast, you know, go to Atlanta and Savannah and Charleston, things like that. Or visit the West Coast. You do that to get a better idea of the culture there and things like that. But also, it's just the logistics things because it's so far between the places. And to go along with that, for Americans, a 3 to 4 hour drive, that's a day trip. Like my parents live 3 hours away. I will literally get up, go drive, have lunch with my mom, and then drive back home. Just for lunch, 6 hours in the car. No big deal. It's about 7 hours when we start to think, that kind of is a long drive. And we drive the entire way through. Okay, this isn't like, I must stop every 2 hours and have a 15-minute break. Oh, no. No. We drive all the way through, okay? Now, my next don't for you when you come here is don't think that the sticker price is the end price. Look, in the U.S. we have sales tax. I know other countries they have VAT, value-added taxes. They're already put into the price of products. So when you see, it's $1 or €1, I only pay €1. In the U.S. it is not like that. We have sales tax, so a certain percentage is added onto that product. And the thing is, I cannot tell you what the sales tax will be where you're going to travel because it's different everywhere. Cities, states, counties, different products have different sales taxes, and some products don't have sales taxes. Some cities don't have sales taxes. Some have 10% sales tax. It can be different anywhere you go. So if you're gonna go get your dollar menu item at a McDonald's or a Culver's or a wherever, it's not gonna be $1.
Listen, I mean, why Americans make it so difficult? Explain me. I just don't understand. Why not write straight away the cost with the sales tax on it? Why to make it like a surprise party? Negative surprise, I would say.
I live, there's 2 cities right by where I live. One, it's going to be $1.08. The other one, it's going to be $1.09. So be ready for that. And it's not just the sales tax. Also, there could be the tipping on top. And that leads us into the 5th don't, and that is don't forget to tip. Look, in the US, you tip 15 to 20% at a sit-down restaurant, okay? Now, McDonald's, stuff like that, no, you don't tip at a fast food place, but if it's a sit-down restaurant where they bring you your food and stuff like that, you will tip them 15 to 20%. If you are in a group of 6 people or more, sometimes they automatically put the gratuity on there, which sometimes can be 18% or something like that. Look, when you come to the US, there's a reason why the food is like so affordable. You're like, wow, it's cheap to go out and eat in the US. It's because there's kind of this understanding that the service fees and paying for the workers and the waitresses and stuff like that, that goes on to you, the person eating there, with the tips. So the food and stuff can be cheaper when you go out to eat. And I know a lot of people say, I don't believe in tipping and this tipping isn't the right thing. They should pay their people more. Well, if you want to pay more for your food, they can do that. But they don't, okay? So
That's interesting. That's interesting because I usually tip only when a person is giving good service to me. Only then. If the service is shit, why should I pay it? Explain me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But like, yeah. And what will happen if I don't tip? They gonna kill me? They gonna what? Not offer me food next time when I come or something like that? Probably there's gonna be bad service next time. You know.
tipping is something we do here in the US, so do tip that 15 to 20%. Oh, also, if you're at a bar and you're buying drinks, you're going to want to tip a couple dollars here and there. Otherwise, the bartender might not be too quick to come back and get you your next drink. So following off of those tips, what you need to realize is our next don't is don't be freaked out by the over-the-top service and free stuff you sometimes get in the U.S. Look, because of tipping and commissions and stuff like that,
no chance that I will be freaked out. I'm gonna take it all.
Yes, there is a lot of over-the-top service here. But the thing is, in the U.S., the people actually are pretty nice and they want to help people. And sometimes for some travelers, if they come from countries where people don't get a lot of service sometimes, it can be a bit much, so don't freak out about it. Also with that is don't be freaked out with some of the free stuff you get when you go to restaurants. Look, if you go to a restaurant and they bring you bread and water or chips and salsa and all those really good things, that's included in your meal. Okay, so if you're going to be buying something, they're going to give you some free stuff. It might be some bread, it might be a salad, it might be a water, it might be something like that. So don't be like shocked when like, wait, I didn't order this bread, I didn't order this salad. Oh no, that comes with your meal. Okay.
No problem with that at all.
You can't just go in and get chips and
bring me more salad, bring me more bread, please, free. I take it.
Salsa and walk out. All right. You actually have to order some food when you go there.
All right.
Now my next don't for you is don't smoke cigarettes in the U.S. If you're smoking cigarettes in the U.S., people will look at you like you're trying to kill their baby. Cigarettes is like totally verboten, like people really frown upon it.
For real?
Which is funny because when they talk about marijuana and stuff like that, people don't seem to care as much. But cigarettes, oh, you're trying to kill my baby with that cigarette 2 blocks away. So if you do smoke, make sure you try to find a place where you can smoke because a lot of restaurants, or pretty much all restaurants, hotels, stuff like that have smoke-free. It's smoke-free. So you got to go like 15 to 20 feet away from doing things.
That's kind of common sense, man. That's kind of common sense. Like literally the times when you can smoke in an airplane and public transport and restaurants are far gone, you know. We all know that cigarette lobby was pushing the agenda that cigarettes are not bad for your health back in the day. The cigarettes are very, how to say, it's cool to be smoking and everything. But with the time, there was sponsored researchers that opened up that cigarettes are very bad for your health. And nowadays in Europe, at least for me, a person who is from Europe, it's normal that you go 10 meters from place you want to smoke, because I wouldn't like to have a person nearby me who is smoking, who is like just blowing smoke in me. It's disgusting.
So that can be something. So I've come here outside my favorite liquor store to give you the next don't. And that is, don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21, or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over in the US. They will not sell them to you. And the thing is, don't forget your ID, because if you look like you're 40 or under, they may ask you for that. And don't get mad at them, because if they don't ask, they can get in trouble and get fined. So don't be surprised, because we've had friends that have come here, try to buy alcohol, and they're like, sorry, you don't look old enough. Oh, I don't have my ID. Too bad. And the thing is, it's not just the person buying. They might ask anybody with you, so make sure everybody has their ID if they want to buy liquor, or they want to buy alcohol, or if they want to buy cigarettes. So just FYI on that one. Oh, that's also another don't.
In Latvia, we have the same, literally the same. same. Like you could buy cigarettes from 21 years of age and alcohol from 18 years of age. But they made it like recently. Back in the day, you could buy cigarettes if you were 18 also.
I have for you is don't bother with a metric system when you come here. We don't use we don't use meters, we don't use kilometers, we don't use liters. It is inches, feet, miles, gallons, pounds, things like that. And I'll put a conversion chart here to show you. But honestly, you may say, hey, how far is it to this next town? And they'll tell you, oh, it's like 60 miles. You're like, what's that? Just know 60 miles, it's about 100 kilometers, okay? So just do that because the people here won't get it. I mean, I have people, when I'll tell them, oh, it's 100 meters away, they're like, 100 meters? It's like 100 yards. Oh, okay. So make sure you do know your imperial system, okay? Because metric, we don't do that so much here. So our next note is when you do come to the U.S., there's a couple things you don't talk about, okay? One is gun control, and two is politics, because no matter where you are, you will get people on either side of the spectrum, and they will have an argument with you. So it's best just to lay off those topics, talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nicer if it was sunny today?
It would be a very nice day if the Trump wouldn't be president. Imagine this, like this trigger, man. That would be crazy.
Go sailing? Yes, that would be much better than discussing gun control or politics. Just putting that one out there for you right now. Now, my next note for you is don't assume that all the U.S. and all the Americans are the same. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you're a typical American. Well, it's like saying you're a typical European. Look, the U.S. has all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different people, all kinds of different topography and scenery and stuff like that. And when you come here, don't assume it's all the same. You will see regional differences in cuisines and how people treat each other.
Compare New York and Louisiana, for example. Just different people, you know, different. The way they talk, the way they like behave, they values are different.
And how everything looks, all kinds of stuff. So don't just think there's just one kind of American. They're all fat, slobby guys with ponytails. No, there's actually a lot of skinny people in America too, not just fat guys like me and my buddy Jeff. There are those. So don't assume it's all the same, all right? So do go out and explore. And that's why I always say is if you're going to come to the U.S., go and explore different regions because you'll get a really different feel. Because going to the southeast and seeing the plantation homes and going to see the southern towns down there versus going to the northwest and Seattle and Portland, or going to San Francisco, or going to the Midwest with Chicago and Milwaukee, you're going to have a very different feel, which is really a cool thing to do. And you start to understand is, wow, the U.S. does have a lot of different cultures within it, a lot of different feelings when you go around here. And following on with that, I guess I would say another don't assume there's no culture in the U.S. because there are a lot of cultural centers out there.
Who assumes that? You need to be a moron to assume this.
You go down to New Orleans, you see a very rich culture there. You go to New York or Boston. Here in New England, you have a very distinct culture. In the Midwest with Chicago, Milwaukee, you go to the West Coast. I mean, there's a lot of different culture here. Historic culture with the Native Americans, or more recent culture here. I mean, you have all that here you can really take in. And saying there's no culture in the U.S., it's not really true, because there are all these different cultural centers with great...
What was that? Oh my goodness gracious, Lord. What was... Wait.
You can really take in, and saying there's no culture in the U.S.
What is this? Don't tell me that this is like cannabis or something like that.
It's not really true, because there are all these different cultural centers with great museums like the Art Institute of Chicago or the Met in New York, the Getty in LA. There's all kinds of stuff you can see and do when you are here. For a cultural trip, it's not just seeing beautiful landscapes and seascapes like we are here in Connecticut. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, my next don't for you is one that I kind of get a lot of questions about. We actually have a video on this, and then that is, don't think that how are you or how's it going is actually a question. Look, when we say how's it going, how are you, these kind of things in the U.S., it's not a question, it's a statement. It's like saying hi, okay? Just take it as a hi, because a lot of people say, everyone asks me how I'm doing. When I try to tell them how I'm feeling, they're like, well, I was just saying, how are you?
The same thing is in UK. I was in 20 years of age, I left Latvia, I went to UK, and for me it was very wild when people all ask me, how are you? And then I started to tell them that how I feel, and they don't give a damn, because how are you is just like, it's like hi, but it's like whatever. I mean, that's what I also did, started to do, like, how you doing? You good? Fine. You know, like, it's just, I don't know, small talk, it's like something like that.
How are you is just hi. Think of it that way. It's like in France. Ça va? Ça va. How's it going? we're good to go. In Portuguese, tudo bem, everything good, you answer back, tudo bem, everything good. It's just, how are you? How are you?
In Latvia, it's like, how are you? Everybody will say, they will say what they feel. They will say if they feel bad, if they feel good, they will say good. In Latvia, we are straight as the straight, I don't know, beam of light.
You move on, okay? So don't think it's an actual question, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is don't expect a lot at the fancy hotels. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to pay more money for this hotel. I'm probably going to get nicer stuff, like a nicer breakfast, better Wi-Fi. Oh, no, 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 no. For some reason in the US, it seems like the nicer the hotel, the more you have to pay for the things you think would be free, like Wi-Fi and breakfast. So don't feel like you have to stay at the fancy hotels, because honestly, if you're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right? So stay at the hotels in the US, and the cheaper ones will give you free Wi-Fi, free breakfast, all these kind of things, which is really nice, so don't expect that from the fancy hotels. Another don't I have for you is don't skip out on the local food. Look, we're here in New England. We're here in Connecticut. We've been having lobster and clams and oh my God, New England clam chowder. Oh, my tummy is just like more. It's fantastic. When I'm in the South, man, Southern fried chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue. Oh my God.
Man, it looks tasty.
The food in the different regions in the U.S. are great. So don't just go to chain restaurants. When you go to your hotel, ask them, hey, what's some local restaurants around here? What's some locally owned and
this kid eats this thing so tasty that I want to try it also. Reminds me childhood when you take like a bakery like a bun and you eat it and it's full with the warm let's say vanilla stuff, and you're like it's so nice, so tasty.
Some local restaurants around here. What's some locally owned and operated restaurants so you can go there and check out those places because they really give you a great experience. And I find a lot of times those ones actually have better service than the chain restaurants because it's a mom and pop place where the owner is the ones helping you out, and that is really kind of a cool thing. Now, my next don't for you is don't get sick. Look, healthcare in the U.S. is insanely expensive, and just because you come from another country doesn't mean they're not going to find you for the bill, all right? So if you're going to be coming here, make sure you get travel insurance or trip insurance so in case you do get sick or you do break an ankle or you do break an arm or something happens to you, your insurance will cover it. Now, you might have to pay it first and your insurance pays you back, but at least you'll get something back because healthcare here in the U.S. is insanely expensive, okay? So make sure you're prepared for that. And I guess my last don't I'm going to have for you is one that...
This is what I heard. There was a guy, he came from Russia to his relatives in the USA, and he broke his leg. Like the emergency took him to the hospital, and then after that he had to pay bill 70,000 for broken legs. What's wrong with US healthcare, man? What is wrong with them? Oh my goodness gracious, this is like not normal, man. Like healthcare should be like affordable for all the people, I don't understand this. In Latvia, of course, it's expensive, but comparing to USA, it's peanuts. You pay peanuts to get healthcare over here, like quality healthcare, of course.
People actually got mad at me when I lived in other countries when I told them the U.S. has 50 states. And they said, no, the U.S. has 52 states. Look, don't think the U.S. has 52 states. The U.S. has 50 states, okay? Just a heads up on that one. I'm sure that people are going to be commenting down below that when I was in school, they told me 52. No, there's 48 on the mainland, and then Alaska and Hawaii are 49 and 50, all right? So those are our don'ts for visiting the U.S.
Wait.
What are some of the don'ts you...
Which are the 52, then 51 and 52, if somebody says, like, it's just... wrong number in the school they teach you, like there's like 52, and when you have to name the 51 and 52, you're like, I don't know the names, but I know for sure it's only 52. And name it in the comment section if you know 51st and 52nd state.
Have for the U.S. because I know there's more out there. I just want to get some of these out there to help out travelers heading to the U.S. just so we can get things going. Anyway, if you like videos like this, we have stuff on what the don'ts of going to Russia, the don'ts of going to Germany, the don'ts of going to Brazil and things like that. And we really like helping travelers with honest travel advice.
I love this dude. I love his energy and nice explanation. The biggest Biggest shock for me was, of course, the prices of the healthcare and and the tips in the restaurant. It's cultural differences. Cultural differences, because I live in different world. If you come to Latvia, you will understand how it's different from USA, how different it is, and how much cheaper it is over here. But you cannot compare Latvia to USA because it's like non-comparable. Latvia is not even existent for so long as USA is, and there's different systems. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell for notification, leave your suggestions in the comment section for next reaction. Bye.